Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What's up, everybody? Big Herc Prison Talk. Thank you for tuning in, and stay supporting our YouTube channel, Fresh Out Life After the Penitentiary, and also telling your friends and family members to subscribe to our Instagram and our Twitter, which is FreshOutSeries, and also our SoundCloud, which is FreshOutSeries. And for those who have subscribed to Patreon, thank you for supporting Chef Big V with the prison spreads. Had another question from one of our viewers. Hey, Big Herc, I have watched your videos for about a year now. I work a minimum wage job here in California and make about $350 a week. There is a dealer who stands outside my work and says he makes that within 2 days. It is tempting. I know what you are going to say, that it's not worth it, but I want to know the younger version of you. What would you do? The younger version of me, I was selling dope. You know, I was hustling. I was trying to get that bread. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and try to feed you what a lot of these guys will lie and feed you, because when times are hard, you know, you take risks, you take chances. You know, you do what you have to make sure you can put food on the table and pay your bills. But, you know, the thing is, this is the thing about the dope game. You know, there is no class on selling dope. There is no school where you can go to learn how to sell dope. If you don't have somebody lacing you, guiding you on the ins and outs of the drug game, then it's almost like you're bound to fail. You know what I mean? You're gonna bump your head, and a bump your head in the dope game means getting locked up, getting robbed, getting jacked, buying bunk dope. You know, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of drawbacks. So, you know, even if you're in the dope game, you think, oh man, I'm gonna go cop me some dope, whether it be cocaine, whether it be some H, whether it be some methamphetamines. I mean, if you're buying something from the street, you don't know the quality or the purity of the drug unless you got somebody who's going to test it out for you. And, you know, they could test it out and have an overdose, which, you know, falls on you. They can, you know, have, a bad reaction to the dope, which means the dope is no good, which falls back on you. So there's a lot of things, man. I mean, it's not just buying a sack of dope and selling it. You know, when I got my first sack of dope, I was 15. Basically, I bought a rock. I bought that rock for $20. I turned around and made $40 off that rock, and then I turned that $40 into $80. And by the end of the day, I was at $200. But you know, at the time I had a good plug, and the homie hooked me up, man. But he was young too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're a young person hustling in the game where there's a lot of variables, man. You got undercovers. You got confidential informants, CIs, that are working for the popos. They're selling dope too, but they're selling dope for the fucking police department or for the FBI or for the government. So they get a pass. You don't get a pass. If they need somebody to take a hit, it's gonna fall on you. You know, knowing where to sell dope, you know, not selling on someone else's territory. I mean, we used to sell drugs in the park, and there was probably, no joke, man, over 20-something guys selling dope at the same park. And basically, me and the homie would shortstop up the street, and, you know, I had my little Rambo knife, he had his little deuce, and if somebody ran up, we had to, you know, handle business. We were the youngest guys at the dope spot, you know, selling dope at the park. And, you know, we caught a lot of shit for that. But, you know, there was grown men out there, 20, 15 years our seniors, selling drugs, and they were trying to get their money too. So it was very competitive, man. It's not like you could just jump in and think you're gonna make a bunch of money and, you know, there's not gonna be any pitfalls to it. So, you know, before you pick up the sack, man, you gotta do your research. And even then, you know, like I said, I'm not advocating that you be a drug dealer, but, you know, if you ain't got any type of street background, anybody in your family that's been a hustler, any homies that hustle, that sell drugs, that can advise you or give you some pointers, man, you're basically jumping into the deep end of the pool without a raft. And, you know, a lot of times motherfuckers drown. You know, I know dudes who every time, you know, they got out of jail for selling dope, they would have maybe a month, 2 month run and get caught up again, man. Just constantly, you know, you got to really know what you're getting into. And like I said, even then, you're selling drugs, you're committing something, you're committing an illegal act, and you're taking risk. And every time you get locked up, you're going to get a strike against you, and that's going to add up on your criminal history. And, you know, eventually they're going to throw the book at you if you keep getting caught up. So, you know, be smart about it, man. But like I said, I was 15. I was taking a lot of chances. When I was 15, 16, 17, I would do shit I wouldn't do today. I'd bust a motherfucker's head. I'll sell dope. I'd ride around with a strap. You know, I wouldn't be afraid to stick a motherfucker. But, hey, man, you know, you grow up, you mature, and you got to think wisely. So think wisely before you start selling drugs.